So just to finish then, I want to show you how you get at this from PHP. That's there to have some fun with anyone who reads the slides online afterwards. Now, I genuinely believe that's true. I've worked on large national scale projects. I've worked on projects at international level as well in my career. And as a back office programming language, PHP is superb, really is. And that's why I use it. There are other languages that sometimes make more sense for different circumstances. For example, if I wanted to write my own implementation of CYPHER, I wouldn't write it in PHP, because PHP is really, really slow. It's a very slow language compared to what you can do in a compiled language like C or Go or Rust, for example. PHP is really bloody slow. But for request reply services, which is what back office systems are these days, there is nothing remotely as good. Nothing at all. So I mentioned before Neo4j is a Java app, and they don't, as a result, they don't officially support PHP. But there was a third-party consultancy called GraphaWare who've written a fully fledged client that you can download and install via Composer, which is really nice of them. Getting a connection to the database is really easy. That's all the code you need. So it's all namespaced. You just need to create your connection, and yeah. This is using the Bolt protocol, which is Neo4j's own binary protocol. There is a HTTP protocol as well. Bolt is a little bit faster. Both are slow. I'm not going to pretend they're fast. They are, by fast, I'm comparing it to MySQL and its performance.
How does it compare to Mongo?
It's probably about the same. Maybe a little slower. But if you have a logarithmic or an exponential scale rather of performance, so you have MySQL at one end and everything else would be next door, pretty much. The moment you move away from something as mature, well optimized, and as basic, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but very straightforward as MySQL, the moment you move away to anything else that's trying to do something different, you lose a lot of performance instantly. It's just how it is. And Bolt is a streaming protocol as well, so it's not datagram based, which also means it's quite expensive to read from the network as things stand, which is a shame. Queries are dead easy. As with SQL, just chuck them in a, use a here doc, using my old, just chuck them in there. And I mentioned before about curly braces for parameters. So we've got the team in there. So it doesn't use question mark like PDO does. It actually uses named parameters, so it's way more bloody useful.
Use named parameters in PDO?
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have only ever used question marks.
That's how I teach it.
Just prefix with a colon. But
Yeah.
Oh,
code
right.
and identifier.
I have never used that.
You go back to MySQL.
No, I will not. You see, learn something. Awesome. I genuinely didn't know that. I have genuinely never seen any code that uses a diver.
It's the sensible way to do it, I think.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, it's much, and certainly teaching it's much easier to understand.
Yeah.
If you've got a name placeholder.
Oh yeah. And the code's much more maintainable as well with name placeholders.
That's my contribution for the year.
Because you don't have to make sure you do everything in order as well.
Yeah. Yes, because it's like you.
Yeah. I'm so used to doing everything in order, it's second nature now, admittedly, but with this, you just use name parameters. It's just so much easier. If you're doing string matching, you have to put the regex in the parameter. You can't, because it's part of the string you send across, the regex syntax has to be in the parameter. You can't put it in the query itself, to the best of my knowledge. Running the query is very straightforward. One thing to note is that you get back a set of objects with GraphaWare's client. You don't get back a nice, neat associative array. In their defense, that's because there's a lot of metadata around objects as well, which are useful if you're traversing paths to tell you like how many nodes you've gone down the path, that sort of thing, which you would obviously couldn't return back in a plain associative array. But if you're not using it for for those kind of algorithms, you're using the general purpose database, they get in the way. Because objects in PHP are slow. They're about 4 times slower than using arrays. And if you write high performance code, it makes a huge difference. But that's GraphOS stuff. It's solid, works really well. There's the link to the GitHub repo if you want to go and have a play.